Happy day, everyone, and welcome to D18 tonight. I'm Nestor Lecanto. We'd like to welcome our guests tonight, Republican Harold Cruz and Democrats Meilou Milligan and Jermaine Alerta. Thanks for joining us. Let us start off by asking you to introduce yourselves. You have 30 seconds.
Happy day. My name is Harold Cruz. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force. I served with the late Senator Angel Santos as his Chief of Staff back in the 23rd and 24th Guam Legislature. I served Guam as a police officer and a marshal of the courts. I used to work at DZSP 21, a federal contractor, and currently serve as the Chief of Staff for Senator Will Castro.
Great, thank you. Dr. Meilou?
Good evening, Guam. Have a day. And thank you, KUAM, and our gracious host here, Nestor, for inviting us tonight. Again, this is a very good opportunity to introduce ourselves. I'm Maria Lourdes Milligan, and I'm running for Senator, number 8 on the Democratic side.
Thank you. Jermaine?
Hafaday Guam, thank you KUM. I'm Jermaine Alerta. I'm number 4 on the Democrat side of the ballot. I'm from Agate. I have years of experience in the government. I worked 11 years in the Guam legislature and also 4 years up in Adelup, working for both Republicans and Democrats. And I'm running for Senator because we have a lot of problems that are still facing our people of Guam, and I want to be part of helping find solutions to those problems.
All right, thank you very much. Let's start off with our very first question and start with you, Dr. Meilou. As you probably know, we've got this issue with revenues. The Trump tax reforms has taken a big bite out of the government's ability to raise money. Do you have any ideas for enhancing or raising revenue without raising taxes?
Of course. We don't want to burden our people with taxes. So we have to come up with solutions, options. One is to create a government agency that will collect efficiently overdue taxes to the government. That's one way. So collection is very important.
All right, Jermaine, to you.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a very staunch opponent of raising taxes for our people. But I do believe that we need to go out and collect the taxes that are owed to our government, go out and get those past or those delinquent taxpayers. And also we need to ease some business regulations right now that make it easier for our small businesses here to succeed so that we can expand existing industries and reach out and attract more investors to our island.
And to you, Harold.
I don't agree with raising taxes in any shape or form. I believe that we need to pursue the compact reimbursement that is owed to Guam, which is over $1 billion since the compact treaty was signed back in 1986. Even more, the $109 million that is owed to our hospital since 2003. I think Guam is in a state of an economic and social problem that we need to explore the compact reimbursements at a higher level.
All right, thank you. And Jermaine, next question. The Guam Memorial Hospital has been in the news as of late, and as you know, it's having an issue over its funding. Funding seems to be the theme for tonight. What would you do to find a permanent funding source for the hospital, or do you think that is the solution because that's what the administration has been pushing?
You know, I mean, every government agency is going to say that they need more funding to provide the quality of services that they want to. There's problems at our hospital. No one can deny that. We need to fix those problems first before we just constantly want to throw money at it. And I think it's going to take a change in some of the leadership up there. I worked in the Camacho Cruz administration when they did gain accreditation back in 2010, and it's because we really focused on making sure that the problems were fixed first. And the funding problem's always going to be there, but we need to fix the problems first before we just keep throwing money at the problem.
Okay, same question to you, Harold.
Well, you know, Lester, when we have a hospital provides, basically provides free health care, then we're going to have a problem day in and day out. I think, and as I stated earlier, we need to pursue compact reimbursement. Earlier I said the hospital is owed $109 million for compact services to our FAA citizens. So we need to explore maybe universal health care that will pay for some of this medical services that our hospital is currently in a financial crisis because.
Okay, and Dr. Meilou?
Okay, this funding is always it's a perennial problem. Okay, but then we have to look at things from a different perspective. It could be because though there is allegation of mismanagement and corruption, so we look into that. So we have to train, or we have to get people who have that character. You know, the character means good people who really have the passion to serve our constituents or our citizenry.
All right, thank you very much. Time for our first break. When D18 continues, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, please get those questions in. We'll try to get them after the break.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that, and I've replaced them with the white fillings, and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
And we are back, and we're going to start taking your questions from Facebook Live. And first one will go to you, Harold. This is from Steve and Liz Amaguin. What are your plans to stop our government agencies from leasing office spaces?
Well, you know, Lester, it's inevitable that we do lease office space. Our government of Guam does not own buildings that we can just, you know, move our agencies into, or even our legislature. So I think we just need to go out and negotiate the best lease terms available with our private sector, which also, you know, brings money back into our economy.
Okay. And Meilou?
Yeah, I agree with that too, because of course we need spaces for our government offices, and we have to study which ones will give us a better deal, you know, when it comes to the profit or the how we use the space.
Okay, and Jermaine?
You know, I think it's time that the government of Guam does look into owning all its office space. I have to disagree with my friends here, but like in the legislature, and it's not going to happen overnight, but in the legislature, when I was executive director, we moved into a building, but that took at least 10 years planning just for the building and getting the funding to get the Guam legislature to move into a permanent building. But that was even after 15, 20 years of renting office space for the legislature. I think we need to have require each agency to look at long-term plans and try to see how they're going to do funding, and also the plans and all the architectural and development of these buildings.
Okay, next question is for Meilou from Yvette Nicole McDonald, and she asks, how do you feel about revisiting casinos, legalizing gambling?
I can't say anything if I don't see figures that say what the casinos have been, what the casinos can offer us. So, but looking at or observing other countries or other governments, I can say that we can really revisit that, because this is additional revenue to our government.
Jermaine?
You know, our people have voted time and again that casinos are not wanted on our island. I understand that there's a need for as much financial support as we can get into our government, or even on our island, just ways to build revenue. And it's very, enticing for us to go after something such as casinos where there's a lot of money involved in it. But we also have to look at the social ills it may cause. And I think that's where a lot of our people on Guam are very hesitant to welcome casinos, because we're not sure what the end result will be.
So that's a no from you.
It's a no from me.
Harold.
I think we need to revisit traditional casino gambling on Guam. Bingo, play red, for times of the year where, it's very, very limited and under very, very strict conditions. I believe that Guam has showed in the past that we're able to police ourselves in terms of these special events. And I think throughout the year, we make it a special event, and I think it should be acceptable. It's something that we need to visit and maybe just begin to allow again.
Okay, Jermaine, this is a good question for you as the former executive director of the legislature. And this comes from Joey Charfris, and he asks, do you think it's fair for the legislature to only allow legislative staff to run for election, but require all other government employees to resign?
Well, it's not only the legislature. Special assistants and staff assistants in the governor's office are able to run too. But I don't agree with that overall law. I believe that all our government employees should be able to run for elected office, whether or not they're unclassified or classified employees. Because I think if we reach into sectors such as public school teachers or our public safety law enforcement officers, it brings more experience to the table. And I think that only benefits our island, because there are a lot of issue areas that we need to focus on, and it's health, education, and public safety. And when we withhold those employees from being able to throw their hat in the ring, we're losing out.
How about you, Harold?
I believe every employee in the government should be able to run for public office. I believe that as long as you are not using your position to go out and violate any kind of law or violate the Mini Hatch Act, then I believe that every government employee should have the opportunity to run without having to resign from their positions.
Thank you. Meilou?
I think it's good to allow everybody, those who have the good intention to serve the community, to run. So public school teachers or whoever, but there should be, whatever the law is, it should apply to everybody. But we have to revisit that, because right now they are saying that there is a violation of, is that a HATS Act or something, that prevents people to run. So we have to really revisit that and make sure that everybody is given the right to run and do what they want to do.
All right, we're going to take another break, but we'll be back with more D18 tonight right after this. Don't go away.
As a nurse, I cared for thousands of patients at their time of greatest need. I know how important it is to have our only public hospital accredited. With your help, Josh and I will change our island's approach to healthcare. We will reduce insurance costs, make sure there are enough beds at GMH, better utilize public health centers, and invest in the latest technology. We will get the job done. I'm in to help get us there, and I humbly ask for your vote.
I'm Lilian Guerrero, and I approve this message.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Big Fries took everything from me to keep my father from exposing the truth about nacho fries.
Rebellion is forming. Flip the switch.
Is there anything that tastes better than this?
Revenge.
The future is not Show 5! Looks like you guys could use a hand.
And we're back, and we're getting right back to the questions. I'm going to start with you, Harold. Question from Adonis Mendiola. What have you personally done to positively impact the families and economy of Guam?
Wow. Thank you, Adonis, for the questions. I think knowing what's going on in Guam every day, day in and day out, knowing the struggles of our families has gave me the knowledge to be able to pursue things that I can help when I like to become a senator.
Okay. Meilou?
Well, as an educator, you know, this is what we do to train or to mold the minds of our youth, especially with me. I'm also a member of the civic organizations like Lions. We do advocate environmental stewardship, so that's one. We take care of our environment. Second, we also civic consciousness, what we can do for our island. And these are a few things. Also, health advocacy. We have to be aware of what's going on, like how to prevent diseases. And okay, that's it.
All right, and Jermaine?
Well, personally, you know, I'm a big sports fan, and I like to give back by helping with kids. I coach baseball for a very long time. Right now, I'm very involved in our local paddling community. I've helped with the Notre Dame Royals team for the last 9 years. And I like giving back because I appreciate what those activities have given to me when I was a child, when I was growing up. And I like to give back. And then for the economy side, as part of paddling, we annually we host like some Japanese high schools that come in. They bring about 40 to 60 students. And I hope, you know, that makes a positive impact on them. They return back and spend some of their money here on Guam. So that's where I help with the economy.
Okay, next question is from John Paul Manuel, and it's for you as an educator, Dr. Meilou. How will you help build a new Simon Sanchez High School?
Okay, I'm here to advocate education. Education is the priority of should be the priority of our legislature. And we have to provide, it's our constitutional duty to provide a good learning environment for our students. Sanchez High School we have to make sure that it gets a dedicated funding, a funding that cannot be touched by any other agency or the government. So a dedicated funding is good for Simon Sanchez High School.
All right, Jermaine?
If elected as senator, I will support all the measures to give the Department of Education as much funding as they need. We're going to have to do some financial shuffling in our government to make sure that we free up some money to put it in priority areas. But I think the Department of Education definitely needs as much money as they ask for. In terms of specifically Simon Sanchez, we have to revisit the procurement process right now because that's where a lot of the holdup is. We need to make sure that our procurement is not an endless, an endless cycle. We need to make sure that Simon Sanchez has been around since I graduated high school and it hasn't had any work done, any major work done to it, and I think we need to give some money to it.
I was a member of the first graduating class of Simon Sanchez in 9th grade. Harold, to you.
You know, there's a gold mine out there for funding when it comes to education, health, and public safety, and that's implementing the medicinal marijuana law that our voters of Guam decided to pass. So we need to get that medicinal marijuana law into place, implement it, and dedicate all those monies to building a new Simon Sanchez, a new Ocean View High School, and even a new GW on the horizon. So that's a gold mine. We have a gold mine for health, education, and welfare. It's right there.
All right, thank you very much. Time for yet another break. Stay tuned. D18 tonight continues right after this.
Mary and Mark said they'll meet us there at 8 o'clock, okay? What are you doing, hun?
I gotta be the faster draw tonight. They beat us to the bill last time, and we missed out on the 3% cash back. I got the skills to pay the bills.
This summer, the Bank of Guam Visa credit card gives you 3% cash back on all purchases. It's an offer so good, you'll be competing to pay the bill.
Your check.
The Visa credit card with 3% cash back this June, July, and August. Only at Bank of Guam. Terms and conditions apply. Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, member FDIC.
Summer is here, and at Cars Plus and Mighty, that means big savings during our summer clearance event. Right now, save up to $8,000 on select 2018 Ram 1500 SLT Crew Cab, or save $3,250 on a 2018 Chrysler Pacifica. Voted Family Car of the Year. 1.99 APR financing is available for qualified buyers. Plus, buy today and receive a Cars Plus value card, where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Don't miss our summer clearance event, going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Character selfie specials at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam. Snap a selfie with any of our new friends, share it on social media, and tag us at CEC Guam. Show your post at the counter and get the special for only $5. Specials valid Mondays through Fridays in July at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
Welcome back. We're going to try to squeeze in a few more questions, and I think I'm going to go to you, Jermaine. This is from Alan Addison Nicholas, and he asks, what are you going to do to stop government corruption and spending?
Ooh, government spending. One of the first bills I'd introduce if I was elected senator is to remove all the deputy director positions. I did some math and looked at the staffing patterns earlier this year, and if we're cutting about, I want to say 12 to 15 deputy directors, it saves our government $1.1 million. In my experience in both the legislature and in the executive branch, we've spent on deputy directors for so many years, and in my experience, it's always been spending too much for too little.
Harold?
Well, I think we need to, beef up the public auditor's office, and put more money into the Attorney General's office, white-collar crime division. Those are two agencies within Government Guam that are responsible for reviewing government spending and government corruption. So we need to put our resources where the buck stops.
All right, and Meilou?
Again, I think the term there is streamlining. This is similar to the two gentlemen's sentiment here. So when we streamline, we have to make sure that all the government directors or deputy directors should just be working on one function, so there is no duplication of functions, and that way we can save money. And of course, when you try to save money, I'm not used.
All right, and so let's move on to another question from James Howard, and this always seems to come up. Legalize cannabis or not? And I think it goes to Harold.
Oh, me. Are we talking about recreational cannabis or?
Well, he just said legalize cannabis. We have a medicinal marijuana law.
We already have a medicinal marijuana law in place. We need to see where that road takes us down, and how, if we're able to actually manage it both socially and economically. And I think from there, we can decide if we want to pursue a recreational cannabis law.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, I think before we can decide on legalization, we have to research on it, okay? So research and study it very carefully, because it entails a very in-depth understanding of what the effects of marijuana or cannabis. There are two kinds. We have sativa and indica, and there are also effects on the body that are different. So it can be recreational or medical, because the question is not very clear though. So recreational is good to raise revenues, but...
Thank you. And Jermaine?
You know, there are a lot of states that have recreational use marijuana legal right now. And some of them have actually benefited very, very well financially. And it's good to look at that, but here on Guam, we need to make sure that if we do implement any form of recreational marijuana, legalize it, that it fits our island. We have to make sure that the regulations are strong and stringent, and make sure that we follow it. And then, you know, also just ensure that we're very aware and very ready for any of the negative impacts that may come with it.
Okay, do we have time to squeeze in one more question? Okay, we do. And this comes from Chris Duenas, and this will be interesting because our after party has two guys that will be very interested in this question. How would you address the issue of political status for those who are opposed to independence?
So we're talking about decolonization. That's how I look at it. Decolonization can be three things: the different kinds of independence from the United States, the federal government. So for me, it has to be presented to the people. It's the indigenous population who has to make a decision on that. It's not for everybody to just decide. It's the indigenous people. They own this land, so they have the right to determine what the political status of the government.
Okay, real quickly, Jermaine.
I think for a lot of people who are currently not in favor of independence, I think it's going to take a lot of education about it. I think many people are very used to and actually enjoy our current relationship with the United States government. And I think there's fear of losing some of that. But I think we need just the education is the uncertainty, and if people can appease some of those concerns, we have a lot of great people working on the independence movement, a lot of smart people who know in which direction they want our island to go. And I think if they can make the case to the people very effectively, then it'll allay some of the fears that some people have right now.
And Harold.
Well, Independence Guam is doing a really, really good job in going out there and educating our island on the status of independence and where Guam will be if we were to vote on independence. I personally would vote for independence. So I ask everyone out there to reach out to Independence Guam. They have a great educational program that's ongoing. And I believe that from there we can probably make a more very informed and educated decision.
Yeah, I should mention that right after this we have the after party for D18 tonight, and the gentlemen that I mentioned were Kenneth Gofigan Cooper and Adrian Cruz, and we also have Andrew Bynum that will be on the show. We're going to have to wrap up right now, and we want to thank you very much, and we're going to give you 30 seconds to tell the voters of Guam why they should vote for you. Go ahead.
Okay, well, what's your half a day? My name is Harold Cruz. I served in the United States Air Force for 6 years. I served Guam streets, protecting our streets and our roads as a police officer, served in the Marshal Court. I've been involved with, in the government with late Senator Angel Santos 2 decades ago, and I know the struggles of everyday family life. And if given the chance to serve you, I will take those struggles and the knowledge and what I've learned, my personal experiences, to better serve you. Thank you, Suzus Masi.
Thanks.
Number 15 on the Republican side.
All right, and Dr. Meilou.
Half a day again. I'm Maria Lourdes Milligan. I'm number 8 on your the Democrat side, running for senator. I am an educator and civic leader, and I've served at the helm of different organizations here on Guam. I'm currently president of the Lions Club, and also sitting at Salvation Army as a board member. And this experience and also my educational background, these are the things I offer you. I have 3 children, I'm a mother, and I can make sure that things are,
Thank you very much.
I can serve the
community.
Give
some time to Jermaine, go ahead.
Thank you, KUAM, and thank you, Guam, for watching and tuning in. I'm Jermaine Alerta. We have so many problems in our government, and these are problems that didn't happen overnight. We're not going to fix them overnight, but we need not just fresh new ideas, but we also need common sense ideas in our government, in our leaders. I have a lot of experience in the government of Guam, working again, like I said, over 11 years in the legislature, 4 years in the administration. I want to use that experience, and I've learned the legislative process, and I know how to do good policy making. So if you give me a chance, I'll do my best. I'm number 4 on the Democrat ballot. I'm Jermaine Alerta. Thank you so much.
All right, our time is up. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and please come out and vote. That's D18 for tonight. I'm Nestor Licanto. Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, thank you.
Furniture provided by Furniture Kathy Style. Men's wardrobe by Royal Bix.